Hi. I want to go over what I think is the ideal commuting bicycle for northern climates. I commuted for a number of years with a carbon fiber bicycle. It's very fast, and I have since switched to a slower, heavier bicycle with some modifications to things like tires that I think have made a real improvement on the quality of the bike for the environment. I'm in Rhode Island, and I have a 20-mile commute to work. First, I'd like to focus on the bike, which is a steel bike, as I mentioned. It's a slower bike. It takes me about 10 minutes more to get to work than it did with the carbon bike. It has a rack on it, and it has wider tires on it than I did my carbon bike. The weight slows me down, but I feel as though the steel bike is a safer bike, and I feel as though the actual reduction in speed is safer than the faster carbon cycle bicycle was. The tires are wider. These are Schwab 28. They're Marathon Plus tires. They're bulletproof. These have over 2,000 miles on them, and I have yet to get a flat. One of the most aggravating things I find in commuting is getting flats. It makes you late, and I don't like to be late. I find that Specialized, with its armadillo skin, also makes an excellent tire, bulletproof as well. And I think that's become very important to me. Again, these tires are slower than the carbon tire would be, but in getting me to work every day reliably, they are actually, at the end of the year, faster. The shifters, bar end shifters, I find to be very reliable and very tolerant. They require very little adjustment. There's very little time spent repairing them, and again, that if you're using your bicycle every day is a real benefit. The Shimano Tiagras have caused me very little aggravation as well. In fact, none. And I find that when I had the higher end components, they're great when they work, but when they don't work, they require a fair amount of attention to get back into alignment. The bike is a surly cross check, and I like that a lot too. It's a real workhorse of a bicycle. For lights, I like redundancy. I have two rear lights. I have this light in motion front light. The tires also have reflectors on them, and I keep a reflector on the front and rear end of my bicycle as well. I like to be seen, or at least think I'm being seen. On my helmet I have, I think it's called the Viz 360 Light by Light in Motion as well, and I love that because I can use wherever I'm looking there's light. If I have a car coming at me perpendicularly from the right, I find that by looking at them, though that may be irritating, they're very prone to seeing me before they might otherwise see me. My rims are wider. The rims were, the wheel set was made by a man named Peter White. They're excellent. The hubs are White Industry hubs. I find them to be also very, very reliable. Again, with the narrower tires that I had before, you spend a lot more time truing your tires because the commuting can get, it's fairly difficult on the wheel set, and it's nice to have something that doesn't require adjustment a lot. With the carbon bike, I used to carry everything to work on a backpack. In the summertime, that means for a very sweaty back. I switched to a rack on this bike, and I find that to be a great improvement. On the rack, I use an Arkell Metropolitan Pannier for my day-to-day, and obviously you can get anything. There's a number of brands out there, but I've come to prefer that over the backpack. If I need to carry more, I have this. This is a Jan. It's actually a suit bag, so I can carry a suit in that, and I've used that to take me to I'll take my bike to work and then go travel from there, and I'll start my day out by putting everything in the Jand and use that as my trip bag as well as my bicycle bag, and it's been very satisfactory. So again, this is my weekly commuter, and I find it to be a very reliable combination. I commute in all sorts of weather, certainly below freezing, and I find that I don't need to change anything on this. I haven't used it in snow, and I wouldn't without putting studded tires on it, but for everything else I found it to be an excellent all-around, all-purpose commuting bicycle.